Hi everyone, and welcome back to Cooking with Suzanne. So today we're going to talk about beets. Now either you love beets or you hate them, one or the other, and I happen to love them. At our restaurant, Suzanne Fine Regional Cuisine, we used to serve a lot of dishes with the beets that we grew, and we had three, sometimes four different varieties of beets. Today, I had a neighbor that dropped off that he just freshly dug from his garden some beautiful red beets, which I have right here. And I also have some gold beets that I picked up at a local market. So there's another beet which is called a candy cane or a chayoga beet, which is also very delicious, and each one is quite different. The red beets, I would say, have the earthiest flavor, and the gold beets are sweet, more subtle. I think the chayogas are definitely the sweetest of the three beets in that category. But roasting them is a wonderful way to really secure all the wonderful flavor that's in the beet as opposed to boiling them. And it's very, very easy. There's nothing difficult about roasting your own beets. And once you roast them, you can put them in the refrigerator. They will hold for a good 4 or 5 days, no problem. So the one thing that you want to do is just cut off a little bit of both ends of the beet so that it can stand up nicely. This one is quite large. It's going to take a little bit longer to roast than the rest of them, but still no problem, and it'll still be absolutely delicious. And once we do that, it's really very simple. The one thing I have learned with beets is that you basically can't over roast them. You can under roast them, but you can't over roast them. So let's just start with a piece of foil here that I have in front of me. And I will place these three beets right in the center. Okay. Flatten it so that you can see. You don't, I would say that's quite enough for the piece of foil that I have here. You can use canola oil. This is olive oil, but you can use canola oil because you're not going to use the oil once you've roasted it. So canola oil works just fine here. And you just want to drizzle it over the top. And if you want, you can season it with a little bit of black pepper. You don't have to, however. Actually, the oil is really all you absolutely need to do. But I'm going to use a little bit of kosher salt, a little black pepper, and I have quite a bit of thyme in the garden right now, so it's very plentiful. So I will put maybe about 3 sprigs of thyme in here along with the beets. 3 or 4 sprigs. It smells wonderful. And then you just want to close it up like a package, because you want to be able to open it every once in a while to check on the doneness of the beet. And to make it easy for yourself, just first fold the top, down, and then you want to flatten the sides and fold the sides in. And now you have your package, just like that. So I would check these. I would start at, I have my oven at 375 degrees, and I will check them in about an hour. These can take up to 2 hours. It all depends on the beet. And the best way to check for it is you're going to open up, after an hour, open up your package and take either a knife like this, a paring knife like this, or a metal skewer, and go straight into the beet. And if there's any resistance, it means it's still not ready. You want it to be absolutely fork tender. You want it to be so smooth and easy to take your knife or your metal skewer out. And then you're going to just let them stay in the foil, let them cool down on their own before you go ahead and take the outer skin off. And then your beets are ready. So let's just continue with this. I have a tray here, like so, and I'm just going to set the beets in there, and we will continue. I'll do the gold beets next. Here we go. Just place them in between the beets like that. Looks great. And these beets are ready to be roasted. So I will put these in the oven, 375, and I will start checking them in an hour. And actually, one may be done, the other two may not be done. As they are done, you want to pull them. So if one is done and the other two are not, rewrap the other two and pull the one that is, okay? And then we'll talk about these little baby beets I have here too. So with the little ones, I like to keep the little ones together, and they should be very, very good, and these are wonderful for salads. So I'm going to just put them all together, and these I will start checking. They may even take an hour as well, but I will start checking these in 30 minutes and see how they're doing. And that's when you can kind of determine whether, oh, they need another 10 or another 20. You should be able to figure that one out. We used to serve a salmon dish, and we would saute some fresh spinach, put the salmon after we have seared it and finished it off in the oven. We would put it on top of the bed of spinach, and then we would dice the beets with a little bit of lemon juice and all extra virgin olive oil, salt and pepper, just a tiny bit of minced shallot, fresh chives and parsley. You mix that together and you serve it with the salmon and the spinach. It's delicious. And this is wonderful to make a nice salad. Beets and oranges go beautifully together with goat cheese. We used to do a salad with beautiful baby greens, and then you make a nice vinaigrette, toss your greens with the vinaigrette, and then do wedges of beets, the 3 different types of beets if you have them, along with some orange segments, caramelized walnuts, and a little bit of either feta cheese or some nice chev is wonderful. It makes a beautiful salad. We'll start checking these in about 30 minutes, and then when they come out, we will talk about how to peel them and store them. Okay, be back soon. Okay, so our beets are completely cooked. The gold beets took about an hour and 40 minutes, and the red beets took an hour and a half. So, and the very small beets only took about 40 minutes. So they are all set, and I just wanted to show you that it's actually very easy. It depends. Sometimes you can just take a paper towel and just rub the outer skin right off of the beet. And if it doesn't, sometimes if they cool down a little too much, it's not as easy, but this isn't too bad. Otherwise, I'll show you another method, but the paper towel works pretty good in rubbing off the skin. Otherwise, you can use a paring knife. Let's just slice the beet. I'll first cut it in half. And by the way, I thought I had my metal skewer here. Yes. This is what I use to check to make sure they're completely cooked. That's the best way, I think. Otherwise, you can definitely use a paring knife and go in. This just gives a smaller insert into the vegetable. Okay, so now you can either cut them in wedges, which I would do if I were preparing a salad. Or you can slice it we go. And now let's work on the red beet. The red beet does dye your hands a little bit, although it does come off. I'm going to just put on a plastic disposable gloves here, just so that my hands don't get totally red. Here's a paper towel, and let's see how this comes off very easily. Oh, these are really, really nice. Okay, so here's our red beets. And then of course we do have the little guys, which are also lovely. And I'm sure this will come off just as easily. I just usually take a little tiny little sliver off the bottom, in case it's still kind of a little bit of the root on the bottom there. So these would be wonderful if you're growing a lot of beets. I strongly suggest you pickle them. Pickled beets are wonderful with roasted meats and just about anything you can imagine. They're terrific, even in salads as well. Oh, these look really, really nice. Oh, you see how tender? You can see they just slice right through very easily. Let me come around and show you the beets. So here are the red and the gold here. They're beautiful. You want to taste the difference between the two beets. I wish I had some chayoga beets also, because those are very sweet and delicious too. Oh man, they're delicious. Okay, that's it for our class today, learning how to roast beets. Thank you very much, everyone, and a special thanks to our dear friend and neighbor Charlie, who grew these beautiful beets, and he definitely has a green thumb for sure. Okay, thanks so much, everyone. Have a great day. Bye now.